Hi, we are Nizarindani, Salvador, Cindy Sánchez, and Josué Ladislao, and we are to talk about Scotland.
Official language. English is the main language spoken in Scotland today and has been since the 18th century. However, there are a wide range of different accents and dialects spoken across the country. Three languages are spoken in Scotland: English, Gaelic, and Scottish. Gaelic is spoken in Scotland and is derived from Celtic. Only a part of the Highlands and Islands of the population speak it as a first language in a bilingual environment. Whereas Gaelic was the dominant language in the Highlands and Islands of Scotland, the lowlands of Scotland adopted the language of the Scots. The Scottish pound was the legal tender in the Kingdom of Scotland prior to its political and monetary union with the Kingdom of England in 1707. In 1707, the Scottish pound was replaced by the British pound. Nowadays, the currency in Scotland is not different from the rest of the United Kingdom in that it also consists of the British pound, although Scottish banks print their own version. Capital city. Edinburgh is the capital and a council of Scotland and is the second largest city in Scotland after Glasgow. It is located on the east coast of Scotland, on the banks of the fjord of the River Forth. It is the capital of Scotland since 1437 and seat of the Scottish Government. Pronunciation and spelling. Scottish English is the set of varieties of the English language spoken in Scotland. The speech of the middle classes in Scotland tends to conform to the grammatical norms of the written standard, particularly in situations that are regarded as formal. Highland English is slightly different from the variety spoken in the lowland, in that it is more phonologically, grammatically, and lexically influenced by Gaelic substratum. Similarly, the English spoken in the northeast of Scotland tends to follow the phonology and grammar of Doric. In this table, we can find some examples of the difference in pronunciation between Scottish English and English English. Next, we will see a video in which he shows us how different pronunciation of English can cause some confusion.
Play Something's Cooking in My Kitchen on Spotify by Dana.
I can't find Something's Cooking in My Kitchen by Dana on Spotify.
It's no Donna. Alexa, play Something's Cooking in My Kitchen by Dana on my Spotify.
I can't find Something's Cooking in My Kitchen by Donna on Spotify.
It's no fucking Donna.
Idioms and slang. In the upper left, we can see some of the most popular idioms among the adult population of Scotland. For example, I deny can, I don't know. Then we can see at the bottom some of the most popular idioms among the young population. For example, pure dead, brilliant, exceptionally good. Gerald, your face, you're very drunk. And on the right side, we can find some of the most popular slang in Scotland. For example, ain't, out, about, now, no, tied to, tatty, potato, behavior. What are the Scots like? Scots are not English. This is the first rule we must learn to get along with the Scots. Do not confuse them with the English. Scots are very friendly. Scots greet each other by shaking hands. That of kisses is reserved of very great friends or close family. War memorials in Scotland. Speaking of offending, there are a few things that offend a Scotsman than being disrespectful in a war memorial.
Hi, I'm going to talk about the traditions in Scotland. Here we have the three most important traditions. First, in here we have the Birds Night. There is about celebrating Robert Burns, that was a really famous poet in Scotland. Usually, the evening is about eating the traditional food, wearing the traditional clothes, and also dancing and having fun. Then we have the St. Andrew's Day, that is about the patron saint, St. Andrews, that usually brings us the philosophy share what you have with those less fortunate and be kind to each other. It's like the philosophy that usually the people in Scotland follows, or well, try to follow. And it's usually celebrated in the streets. People usually dance to traditional music, and then at the end eat also the traditional food. Then we have the Hogmanay, that for us is usually known as the New Year's Eve, but the New Year's Eve in Scotland usually dures 2 days. The first one obviously is the one in December 31st, that is the last day of the year. And then usually they go out from the streets in the second day, that is usually the first day of the next year, in this case January 1st, and they go dressed like this, as if they were in a fight or something with fire, and people usually have fun there. Then we have the other thing, the other topic, that is about the lifestyle and the job opportunities. Usually in Scotland, the people who works have a balance with the work and the life. They don't work a lot of hours, so they have time to spend with their family and in work. As we see in here, per week they work between 37 and 40 hours, and this is with a free time for having lunch. And then you get rewarded with a generous amount of paid holiday time. So you are kind of free to do whatever you want while working. Then we have the traditional food. Here we put the two most famous things about food. First, the most traditional and famous dish from Scotland, that is called haggis. This is a famous dish that is made with potatoes, turnips, and also whiskey sauce. Everything in Scotland has whiskey sauce or whiskey. And yeah, this is really famous. It's known for the taste because it's really hard. It's really heavy, the taste. And then we have the most famous dessert, that is called granachan. It's with raspberries. Usually is made with fruits that you can get in summer, and it's with ice cream. You put honey and obviously whiskey. Then you have the music. Usually the Scottish music have bagpipes in everything. As we can see in the picture, in most of the celebrations they use bagpipes because it's the thing that represents the whole country. They use also piano, grand piano, violoncello, and stuff like that. But as we know, the diversity in different countries is really extended. We have different variations of things. There's a lot of diversity in all of countries, and Scotland is not the exception, because in Scotland, in the capital city, we can find different music from the other regions of Scotland. So the thing we will see in common is the bagpipes in everything, in every music we listen to.
Sports. Scotland's most popular sport is rugby. Rugby is one of the star sports followed by a large number of people. The Rugby Union Professional Rugby League is one of the most followed events in Scotland and United Kingdom. Football soccer is another of Scotland's star sports. Your best known team in the world is Celtic Football Club. For such a small country have had remarkable experience in international competition, like as the World Cup. University which offer a Bachelor of Arts in Languages. University of Dundee. This university offers language courses to suit all abilities and interests of study. You can learn a language from home at your own pace, or improve your language skills by learning a language as part of your degree. If you are a student at the university, you can choose to study a degree combined with either one or two languages.
How much did you learn about Scotland? Let's see. Crosswords are quite dynamic and interesting, so let us know if you learned something about our presentation while you resolve this one. You can find it in the link that is on the presentation. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy the presentation.